Feeling stuck in your relationship is normal. Yes, I said it. There's no relationship that's perfect. But what if you've done all the things that you could to try to rectify the relationship and nothing has worked? How do you know that it's time to go? Stay tuned to the end of this video and I'll share some tips with you to help you recognize the signs for when it's time to go. Stay tuned. Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Own Your Ship podcast. Where have you guys been? Have you been listening to the episodes? What do you think? Do you like them? Be sure to rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. And let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you guys. So you guys know I'm an advocate for healthy relationships. But there are some times when relationships aren't as healthy as we want them to be. How do you know when it's time to leave? We're going to talk about that. The first point that I want to share with you, you guys see me with my tablet. You know, when I have my tablet, it's notes time. I got my notes. So the first point is you don't feel happy or fulfilled in the relationship anymore. People change. As time goes on, people become either better versions of themselves or worse versions of themselves. And sometimes the changes that people make don't align with the changes that you've made for yourself. If you're no longer feeling fulfilled, that could be a sign that it's time to go. Point number 2, you've lost respect for your partner. Being in a relationship with someone doesn't mean that you love all the things they love and they love all the things you love. It means that you guys have a shared admiration for each other for different reasons. And as time goes on, those reasons might change. Things that at one point would get you excited about this person may be an instant turn off at this point. If you find that respecting your partner is no longer something you care for, it may be time to go. Point number 3, you don't see a future together. If you cannot see yourself spending forever or even a long period of time with this person, then this may not be the person you want to be with. Cut your losses. I know there's a lot of fear around having to start over and go through the dating pool. And, we always say there's piss in the pool. We know. But it's better than staying in a relationship where you don't see a future with someone, where you don't respect that person, and you don't have anything positive to say about that person. So that's something you want to think about. Point number 4, you guys have grown apart and you have different goals. Being in a relationship with someone you care about doesn't mean that you guys have to like all the same things. It's about how these goals that you guys have for yourselves, how does that balance out the relationship? How does it work for the dynamic of the relationship? Does your goals require you being away from the relationship for months on end? That might be something you guys have to discuss. Do your goals require you to not contribute financially to the relationship? That will be something you guys have to discuss. If for whatever reason you guys cannot get on the same page as it pertains to your goals aligning, then it might be time to reevaluate the relationship in its entirety. Point number 5, you're constantly fighting or arguing. No relationship is perfect. You're gonna have disagreements. Y'all gonna have falling outs. There are gonna be times where y'all just don't mesh. But if you find that that is happening more than you are having civil conversations, then it's time to reevaluate if this relationship is for you. A lot of the fighting and arguing stems from a lack of communication or understanding how to communicate. So before you pull the plug, you want to make sure that you both are utilizing tools to help you become effective communicators in your relationship. What do you think so far? What are some other signs that you think are complete red flags and should be signs that people should leave their relationships? Talk to me in the comments. Let me know if you've experienced anything that I haven't mentioned yet that you think is a absolute no-no and it's time to get out of this relationship. Let's go back in. Point number 6, you're experiencing physical or emotional abuse. Statistics show that it takes someone who's being abused at least 7 attempts before they successfully leave and not come back. So I know it's difficult. It's important here to reach out to your support system so you can have someone to lean on when you're going through difficult times. If this is not an option, there are resources available to help you get out of the situation that you're in. I'm going to put the domestic violence hotline number right across the screen here. So if you or someone you know is struggling with domestic violence, please reach out to this number for assistance. And I hope that you get the assistance that you need. Point number 7, you don't trust your partner. Without trust, what's your relationship? If you feel like the only way to feel comfortable in your relationship is by going through phones and checking text messages and looking at locations, then you don't trust your partner. And it's okay to admit that. But is it fair to you to stay in a relationship where you have to do all these extra things in order to feel loved? Point number 8, You don't feel valued or appreciated in your relationship. No one really does anything to get praise. But it's nice every once in a while to be appreciated for something you've done, regardless of if you're supposed to do it or not. For example, if your partner went out of their way to do something they don't usually do, it would be nice for you to say, "Thank you, I appreciate you." Not because you have to, but because you want to show your partner that you value them. Point number 9, you're consistently thinking about other people or other opportunities. Now, as far as I'm concerned, you're alive. And as long as you're alive, you'll always see people who look attractive. It's a part of life. It doesn't matter how committed you are, people are still going to be attractive. But when your attraction develops into something deeper and you find yourself wondering, then that's a problem. This is where you have to determine if you really want to be in this relationship or if you're just ready to call it quits. Don't take the chance and wreck a relationship over a wandering eye. If you want to go, go, but don't play the field. Point number 10, you're not willing to put in the work. Relationships don't come easy. And there are few people who I've heard on social media who say marriage is easy, relationships are easy. And kudos to you. If that's you, great. But a majority of us don't have that same experience. Many of us have to put the work in. And what does that look like? That means actively and continuously showing up every day, making a deliberate decision to say that I'm going to be the best version of myself that I can be for the sake of myself and my relationship. Point number 10, you're not willing to put in any work. Like I said in the last point, relationships require work. If you're not willing to do anything, then this relationship is not going to work. Relationships aren't one-sided. One partner cannot be doing everything. They can't be tending to all your emotional needs, all your physical needs, and get nothing in return. The relationship will not last. So if you find yourself in a position where you're not interested in giving anything, then it might be time for you to head out. Ooh, that was point number 11. I messed up. So now I'm going to point number 12. You're feeling lonely and disconnected from your partner. Relationships are just a small blimp in this thing called life. We have so much other things going on, and many of us have plate loads of stuff that we are currently working through. But if we neglect our partners during that process, we put them in a position to walk away from us. Balance was a huge thing for me last year, and I failed because I thought I was superwoman and I could do everything. And a lot of things ended up overwhelming me. And I even at some point had to stop doing this podcast. Not because I didn't love it, but more so because I couldn't handle everything. I couldn't balance. So it's the same with relationships. It's important for us to balance our time, whether that be with work, with school, with friends, but more importantly, with our significant other. Point number 13, you lost attraction and intimacy with your partner. Nothing is more uncomfortable than being intimate with someone you're not attracted to. I don't believe in forcing yourself to do things with the hope that it will get better. I believe in standing in your truth. And if you're not there or you're not there anymore, you need to say it. Point number 14, you're not happy in your own life anymore because of this relationship. I said it before, relationships can be super draining. I completely get it. But if it's getting to the place where it's depleting your personal life, it's taking away the joy from the things that you would once do, you may want to reevaluate this relationship. Your happiness is important and you shouldn't have to sacrifice that for a relationship. And finally, point number 15. You've done everything you can to work on this relationship, but nothing is working. Well, if you've done all you can, it's time to head back to the drawing board. Leaving a relationship doesn't mean that you failed. Leaving a relationship just means that you've acknowledged that it's not for you and you want to find what's for you. You can't find what's for you if you're spending time trying to fix something that cannot be fixed. Everybody's situation is different. And if these pointers resonate with you even a little bit, it might be time for you to reevaluate your next steps. Listen, guys, you know I like to keep my videos short and sweet. So if this video has helped you in any way, please share it with a friend. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I really want to hear from you guys. Tell me about what you thought about this video in the comments. And until we meet next week, go ahead, check out some of these other videos. Take care.